to dream the impossible dream. We don't have time to duck our heads and think about it tomorrow. I know solving the climate crisis is a big, scary thing that seems bigger than any one of us. But I believe we are all powerful beyond our beliefs. I believe that at any age we can surprise ourselves and do bold things. I believe that having a purpose is one of the most gratifying and satisfying ways to live. Hello, you are listening to the Late Bloomer Living podcast, where we are reimagining and redefining what it means to be in midlife, where we are gathering energy, momentum, and excitement for our next chapter via candid conversations with other midlifers about their own pivots, pitfalls, and triumphs. I'm Yvonne Marchese, your host, and I'm so happy you're here. Hello, my friend. Can I tell you a secret? I'm really nervous about today's episode. I'm nervous because I'm doing something new, and doing new things always makes me nervous. I'm nervous because I'm talking about something near and dear to my heart, and I know it's a tricky subject. But what the heck? Studies have shown that being nervous and being excited show up the same way in our bodies, so I'm going to flip the script and say I'm really excited about today's episode. April 22nd marks the 53rd anniversary of Earth Day, and I've decided that I need to step into the discussion about what we can do to celebrate and what we can do to clean up our act. I've been mulling this over for months and hesitated to talk about this on this podcast. I even considered starting a different podcast just to talk about it because I didn't think it was on topic for Late Bloomer Living. But I've changed my mind. I do think that it's a topic that is relevant to what we talk about here on this podcast because it involves changing our thinking and changing our habits. And that is what Late Bloomer Living is all about. It's about stepping into uncomfortable situations on purpose so we can grow and see what we can learn from the discomfort. So today, I'm doing what I always recommend that you do when you are trying to make progress. I am taking a baby step. I'm using this episode to let you know that this is going to be a topic that we're going to go deeper on every now and again. Not every episode, but every now and again, regularly. I have some really cool ideas for guests to invite to the podcast that I think will inspire you and bring you hope. Really, I do. If this topic makes you squirm or you don't believe that we humans are affecting the environment and that's not why you come to my podcast, I get it. But I hope you'll stay with me to the end of this episode and hear me out. So, in preparing for today's episode, I had a conversation with a very dear friend that confirmed something that I've been guessing at when it comes to what people our age might be thinking about climate change and our ability to make a difference. I'm 54 and my friend is just a few years older than me. And by the way, this is a person who believes that we humans are responsible for the climate crisis. This is not a person who is a climate denier or someone who thinks that the current changes in our climate are a natural phenomenon. I asked them what they are trying to do better when it comes to making everyday choices that are sustainable for our environment. What new habits are they trying to adopt? What old habits are they trying to break? They gave me a very brave and honest answer. They told me that they don't think about it that much. They told me that they really don't think that their singular actions will make a difference, and that until there's real policy change from our government and large corporations, that there's nothing we as individuals can really do to make a difference. And I get it. Every time an oil spill happens, I want to cry. It's frustrating to find out that when we think we're doing good by recycling, the truth is that much of the time our recycling ends up in landfills anyway. Oftentimes we make changes only to realize that the changes we made create other unforeseen problems. Like seriously, what happens to the batteries in electric cars? Honestly, I don't know the answer to that, but it is a question. Like, is that sustainable? Maybe I have a little bit of Don Quixote in me and I'm tilting at windmills, but I believe that we underestimate our power. I think that our individual actions have a ripple effect and that we all have the ability to influence the people around us. We can lead by example. We can use our purchasing power to buy products that are made with sustainability in mind. Here in the US, we live in a capitalist society, and businesses will respond to our demand in the form of dollars. That's how business works. Of course I believe this. Otherwise, this podcast wouldn't exist. Why would I bother? I believe that when you hear a story that inspires you, it plants a seed that will grow in you so that you can take the next steps you need to take to live your best life. That's why I'm here doing this. You know, I always say you're not too old and it's never too late. Here's the thing. We are on borrowed time. When it comes to doing that thing you want to do, what are you waiting for? When it comes to taking action and changing our habits to make better choices for ourselves or for the climate, we don't have time to duck our heads and think about it tomorrow. I know solving the climate crisis is a big, scary thing that seems bigger than any one of us. But I believe we are all powerful beyond our beliefs. I believe that at any age we can surprise ourselves and do bold things. I believe that having a purpose is one of the most gratifying and satisfying ways to live. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox and let you know where I'm hoping to go with this side mission, let's call it, for the podcast. Number one, I'm planning to bring on guests to talk about their later in life awakenings around climate change and what they have done to step into their power. My hope is to bring you stories that will inspire you to take your own bold actions. I believe that this is 100% on point with the mission for Late Bloomer Living. It has always been about how we can step into our power no matter our age. Number two, I will be asking you for feedback and ideas. I want to know what you struggle with, what you're afraid of. And I definitely want to hear from you if you've made changes in your life that are better for the environment. And that said, I have a call to action for you today, a challenge. I would love it if you would send me an email or leave me a voicemail. I have a brand new spot on my website where you can leave a voicemail for me. You can go to latebloomerliving.com/podcast and scroll down the page a bit, and you'll see a section that says, leave a voice message for Yvonne in bright orange letters. I would seriously love to hear your voice. When you leave a voice message, be sure to let me know if you want to remain anonymous or if I have your permission to use your voice on the podcast. I'm not guaranteeing I'll use your voice, but who knows? I just might surprise you. And that said, I would never use it without your express permission. If you're more comfortable writing, sending an email, you can send it to latebloomerliving@gmail.com. And again, let me know if you want your name read aloud on the podcast or if you want to be anonymous. Number three, I will also be talking about my own challenges when it comes to making decisions about how I do things and the products I'm using in my daily life, because I struggle with this, guys. I struggle with figuring out what's the right thing to do, with figuring out what is not going to turn my life upside down. I can't go zero waste. Let's put it that way. So some friends have asked me for a list of sustainable products that I like a resources page on the website, which I am going to be working on. By the way, anything that you see there at this point is not going to be a paid product placement. And if at some point I end up with a paid product endorsement, I will make that very clear. And my promise to you is that I will only endorse products that I have used and I trust. In fact, I've already turned down branding partnership offers that just didn't feel right to me. So know that I am committed to maintaining integrity when it comes to affiliate offers and brand partnerships. And speaking of partnerships that I believe in, I'm going to interrupt this whole thing for a second to talk to you about the sponsor for this episode, which is Midlife Cues. It's a newsletter. If you are someone who is looking to grow personally as you get older, hello, you. I think that's why you're here. Anyway, the Midlife Cues newsletter is the perfect solution for you. Every Sunday, you can open your email to find a weekly newsletter that is filled with carefully researched resources and tools to help you live your best life. It's written and published by my friend Lou Blazer, who left a successful career in corporate America and now focuses on helping midlifers be truly happy and feel fulfilled in the second half of their lives. She likes to say that there are no midlife police. So there you go. She's a very thoughtful lady. You can subscribe today by going to midlifecues.com. I highly recommend it. I always look forward to opening Lou's emails. And now back to our current message. Okay, number 4. I will be looking for good news to share with you about progress that's being made on policy issues or other human interest stories, because I think we all need some good news to counteract the devastating stories that we hear all the time on the regular news sources that leave us feeling sad and powerless. So, for now, that's where I see this going. Before I go, let's start with that number 3, which is talking about my own challenges and products and stuff. I will tell you about a couple of the changes that I've made that are working really well for me. I've been doing a lot of research about what I can do in my day-to-day life to have a less negative impact on our environment. And that has led me to a search for alternative products that I can buy and use every day. One of my favorite products that was an easy peasy switch was to stop using fabric softener and dryer sheets and start using wool dryer balls. They look like little wool tennis balls. They work really well, and the set I'm using today has lasted me 2 years. So while they might seem expensive if you go looking to buy them, I think I got mine on Amazon or something, they might seem expensive, but I'm telling you, they last forever. I can testify also that they work to get rid of static cling, and they are very durable. There's no perfumes or chemicals in the dryer balls. They're just wool. It's amazing. And they came without plastic packaging. I ordered mine on Amazon again, but you can find them in a lot of places these days. While we're talking about laundry, I also want to tell you about the laundry detergent I'm using. I stopped buying laundry detergent in plastic jugs and started using laundry detergent sheets. They come in a little envelope that gets mailed to me every month. It's like a subscription service. They look like fabric softener sheets, but they're biodegradable and they work just as well as the liquid detergent that I was using. I have a front-loading washer, and I just fold up the little sheet and I put it in the cup where the liquid detergent is supposed to go. If you have a top-loading washer, you can just drop the sheet in the washer like you would liquid detergent. I've been using Earth Breeze is the brand. And again, this is not a paid endorsement. I just love how easy it's been to use them, and they work. I mean, seriously, did you know that over 700 million plastic laundry detergent jugs are discarded every year? That's a heaping mountain of plastic, my friend. The last product change I'll mention today is that I also stopped buying foaming liquid hand soap. I love foaming liquid hand soap. It's so much better than bar soap. The problem with using liquid hand soap, the traditional kind that you get in the grocery store, is the plastic packaging and the fuel and the carbon emissions that are necessary to ship liquid soap, also laundry detergent, I will say, that is heavy and bulky. I found a company called Blue Land that sells powdered tablets. They're so cool. They're tiny. They're about, I don't know, somewhere between the size of a nickel and a quarter. They look like Necco wafers. Anyway, they turn into foaming hand soap when dissolved in warm water. The little tablets come in these biodegradable paper pouches, and when you place your first order, you can get like a starter kit that has a glass foaming soap dispenser that works really well. And did I mention that they smell really good? They've got a variety of scents. Anyway, I've been using this hand soap for about a year. I haven't had a problem with the pump. I've been using their glass dispenser in the kitchen, and I've been then reusing and refilling a plastic foaming soap dispenser from another brand that I already had. I've been filling that with the tablets from Blue Land and some warm water to save money until the plastic ones I'm reusing stop working. And you know they will stop working because they do. So anyway, these are a few of the products I started using that I'm very happy with. And I don't feel like I'm suffering or that my routine is interrupted by using, in fact, their subscriptions mostly, so I don't even have to go to the grocery store to get them. They just show up on my doorstep. So I know there are other brands out there for, I think, powder hand soap and laundry detergent, but these are the ones that just happen to be working for me. So that's it. Okay, my friend, that's it for me today. Happy Earth Day. Let's stay hopeful. And I want to remind you before we go, please, please, please send me an email or leave me a voice message with your thoughts. Seriously, good, bad, or ugly. I want to know what you thought about this episode. And I'd love to know if you're excited to explore this territory with me, or even if you think this is not what you signed on for when you started listening to this podcast. I really would appreciate your feedback. I'll have information for you in the show notes about the products I talked about and how to get in touch. And you can just go to latebloomerliving.com and look for episode 140. And that is that. Thanks so much for listening and bearing with my rant. I hope you have a fantastic week. Stay safe and well. Talk soon.